we're gonna deep dive into the remote desktop manager presentation
Yeah.
very soon. Mark is in the studio right now. He's getting set up for the demo. Mark is our pre-sales engineer here at Devolutions. He's been with us for the last 6 or 7 years now. But first, we wanted to get a bit of an overview of what's happening with remote desktop manager. Correct?
Yeah.
So
and Devolution at the same time, because remote desktop manager is the flagship product.
Yeah,
it's the door to all our other products.
Absolutely, it's the core piece of our platform.
Yeah.
So in terms of productivity and security, what has changed from, let's say, from the Devolution perspective?
Yeah.
What has changed for the last 10 years, coming from a productivity tool to a security tool?
Yeah. To be honest, if you're still using an old version of remote desktop manager, please update, because 5 years ago, maybe I could say maybe 4 years ago, we could have been in one of the Troy PowerPoint slide, because it was not that we were not taking security seriously. We're not just here yet. You know, the biggest challenge that we see with IT pros, they have to manage the expectation. They have to be in the operations, and at the same time, they have to keep the business going and make sure that they are not a target for a vulnerability. So what has changed? In a nutshell, I will say that I don't want to look like stupid. That's why I asked the question. We take the security seriously now. We have a dedicated team. For Hub, we have the SOC 2. So this has leveled up everybody at Devolution in terms of awareness. We would like to do security first, but we have to be careful when we move forward. What I mean by that, because we could disable all the unsecure algorithm, but if you're still using a switch that's required this algorithm, we can't remove it from remote desktop manager. So we try to level up the game of everybody, and that's what we do internally, and we do a lot of dog fooding. So as a small and medium business, we have to keep the pace and move forward and be careful
and grow at the same time. Grow with our users, grow with your challenges in terms of security.
Exactly.
And we when Dave talks about dog fooding, we do it here as a business at Devolutions. We have now more than 130 employees now. So we're growing as a business. Our challenges are also growing. And by the way, Troy talked about having the opportunity for people to actually connect with security professionals, right?
Yeah.
And we have that on the Devolution website.
Not the secure.txt, the file we're talking, but I'm pretty sure in few hours we will have this file that will be deployed, because I saw on one of our Slack channel that the security team was already working on
that feature.
Yeah, because it's just that we were unaware, but we have, if you're digging down the website, we have a security section. Everything is
it's in the footer of the website. There's a whole part of the website dedicated to the security.
Exactly.
With the all the different certifications that we've worked on. More specifically, we have SOC 2 compliance certificate for Password Hub.
We have the ISO
27001. Taking for privacy and confidentiality.
For security. Privacy is the next one that
it's the next one that we're working on.
We're going to do the privacy soon.
Okay, so to answer that question, productivity and security all together for IT professionals. And we talk a lot about, there's a lot of talks about cybersecurity. What I like to think about and to talk about is IT security, which is not the same for me.
Exactly.
And it's not the same either for the industry. Cybersecurity is very big on, encryption, crypto, and all that stuff. While IT security is how to manage access to data. And that's exactly what we want to focus on as a company.
Yeah, we have an OPSEC team, which is different than our DevSec team.
Exactly.
And we also have a GovSec team for the privacy. So that's something that we want to make sure that it's well known by everybody that it's serious business now, because we have something to lose now.
Yeah.
Which was not at the beginning of Devolution. It was myself in my basement. I had nothing to lose, but you have to remember also that it was not well known by everybody that security was important, except
Not at
in the
not,
airport was the
yeah, not
only.
at that time.
Exactly.
You're absolutely right. Second questions that I had for you, David, is what about passwordless future, right?
Yeah.
How can we handle and what's the view of Devolutions on passwordless?
Yeah. Troy was mentioning to get a password manager, and we're not the password management company. Sometimes we present ourselves like that to simplify our let's say our
offering, our solutions, or
yeah, because in Level 3 we are the only, not anymore, because I will say that now there are some tech companies, but we used to be the only one in tech companies, and people were not understanding what we were doing. So to simplify my explanation, we manage passwords. But that's not our expertise. Our expertise is in remote connection.
Yeah.
And not just remote desktop, any type of connection. That's why we have integration with tools and products like 1Password, CyberArk, Keeper, KeePass. We integrate all those different tools into our remote connection management tool. The name is Remote Desktop Manager, but it's misleading because we no longer just manage remote desktop. So what about passwordless? We will be there. If passwordless it has to be, we will be there, because what we do, it's not managing passwords. So I'm not afraid of losing my business because of the passwordless, because you will still need to connect to an SSH server, and with a password or without a password, for us, it's the same challenge.
Absolutely. We're more now a remote connection, remote access management company that integrates with all the different third-party tools that you mentioned, alongside with our very own password hub.
Yeah, we have one
because cloud-based repository that you can connect with Remote Desktop Manager, as well as Devolution Server, right, for on-premises password management and privileged access management. So these are, and as you said, Remote Desktop Manager is the core piece of our solutions, and now is more it's becoming, and has become a platform more than just a simple tool on the user.
Do you remember, Max, at the beginning of Devolutions, I was I would say mad when you were mentioning RDM in our blogs instead of Remote Desktop Manager. Do you remember that?
I remember that. Yeah.
But I can see in the future that we might change the name of the application for just RDM, because we are no longer just Remote Desktop Manager. But 10 years ago, when we start together, it was very important to me to specify the full name, not RDM. So we're using the acronym.
There's a lot of people,
it's no longer true. So as a company, we are evolving to a next step where RDM is the front door to all the different aspects of our products.
And I don't see the questions here. We don't have all your questions. If you have questions about that, feel free to share it in the chat window. We're going to be back in the studio in a few minutes. But right before we move to the studio, you talked about evolving, right?
Yeah.
So what would be on the short term and long term? Okay. What would be what's coming up for Remote Desktop?
My cards, make sure that I don't forget anything.
Let's go with the cards.
So the next version will be, we have set yesterday a date. It will be at the beginning of January. I think it's the second week of January. It will be a small release, because the last one, Mark is gonna showcase.
Mark in a few minutes is gonna showcase what we just released a few weeks ago.
Was a huge one in terms of refactoring to step up our games in terms of security. Okay, so the next one is more the next step of the evolution. So we will try to simplify the management. One of my example is we will have inherited VPN with a default value in the root, which means that you will be able to configure in a specific vault, in the root, you will be able to specify the VPN, and all the different connection will use this VPN. For example, if you create a vault for partners or for a different site, you will configure your VPN at one place. And when you will be able, when you will want to connect to a server, the VPN will be used.
Okay.
So honestly, it's because of dog fooding, because now we're using Devolution Gateway. That I think that you will this afternoon you will learn more. We took all the different technologies from Wake. You remember Wake, and integrated those technologies into Devolutions Gateway, which is part of Devolution Server. So we use it as a dog fooding, I would say, work, because it's really useful, and we access our build machine. So it's easier for us to configure the VPN, which is in this case the Devolutions Gateway. Yep. So VPN, it could be an SSH connection, it could be anything, and configure once and use everywhere per vault, or per folder if you want to do it and everything. We will have the default vault permissions, so you will be able to configure a different set of permissions to be used as a default when you create a new vault. So this will simplify your vault management. We will also have a new permission, which will be the move permission. Maybe few people are aware that it's complex to manage. How do we handle the move? Because do I need the add permission in the destination folder? Do I need the edit permission in the current entry because I have to move it? Do I have to have the delete permission to remove it from the existing folder? So to simplify everything, we will introduce a new move permission that you will be able to set to your users. I think that one of the interesting feature will be the Windows, the next Windows 11 look and feel with the the rounded corners.
I saw that.
I gave because this is already done in our internal builds. So I gave Mark a few print screen.
So we'll be able
to, because he's not using our internal builds. Want to make sure that the demo is going smoothly. And we will also support the snap layout. This is on the short-term schedule, but on the longer term, we will have the look and feel for the rest of the application. To be honest, we are dependent of a third party, and we need them to implement the look and feel. You know, it's
what's that layout?
It's flat. It's more flat. It's more subtle. The difference between the different controls. So we will be able to move forward to this look and feel when the third party will be offering that.
And what about what's on the long term?
Yes, the other thing on the long term, which is a huge journey, is moving to .NET 6. That was released later. I think it was earlier last week. This is a huge challenge because we have to drop some technologies. For example, it's no longer, the web services are no longer supported. Who cares about web services? We access the VMware server in web services, so we have to recreate the library in REST API. So it's small steps, but a lot of steps to be able to use .NET 6. What will be the benefits of .NET 6 for our users? Less memory usage, faster startup, faster performance, just because of the engine. And ARM64. So with the I think it's the Surface Pro is built-in ARM. The processor is ARM64. So that's something that we want to do for Windows. It's already done for Mac, and it's going very smoothly. It's running really smoothly on the Mac platform.
And we're talking about long term, but do you have a date in mind, or what upcoming next year? Or
I would say mid-years maybe.
Mid-year and further on.
But I'm sure that we're gonna have many other stuff in the other products, because you have to remember that as our other products grow, we integrate the features into Remote Desktop Manager.
That's true.
So I don't wanna talk about Devolution Server. I don't want to talk about Hub.
I get you.
Because their features will be in Remote Desktop Manager. There's one thing, we're gonna eventually have the approval. workflow into RDM with our Devolutions Workspace application.
Native app.
Exactly. So you will be able to accept, self-sign your own
push
connection,
notifications
exactly,
for
with the push
approval of
notification
different
through
connections.
our Devolutions account.
Okay.
So it will be really important. But when we're talking about Devolutions account, we will be talking about single sign-on with Azure. So this, you will learn more about that with Hub
in the upcoming months.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good. We have 1 minute left. Well, I think we're pretty done here. So if you don't mind, we can switch to the studios. I'm talking with my with my director here. She's giving me like calm down.